Good morning from Adelaide, Australia. This is Karen from Vintage Style Journal Creations. That's my Facebook page if you're interested. I thought I'd do a quick flip through, although is there anything such as a quick flip through? I thought I'd do that with my beautiful journal sitting here, which is the picture on my Facebook page, so that's the reason why I'm going through this one. I've made this one from scratch, so I didn't use a book cover or anything like that. I just used a heavy duty card and covered it with muslin, and I'll just show you a little bit closer there, see if you can see it. I've tea stained the muslin in this area here. The whole thing was actually tea stained, and what I've done is I've made it quite a whopper. It's a big one, and I put some rope through here just to make the spine a little bit more interesting than flat, and I've covered it and used the muslin to actually join the back to the front and the back, to join the spine rather to the front and the back. So it's a pretty sturdy book, and as you can see, it's got quite a few pages in there. I really actually haven't finished putting all the ephemera in yet. I've been crazily making it since around Christmas time just to be able to fill this whopper. So yeah, just let me tell you a little bit about the cover here. I've got some sari silk and some seam binding, as you're all aware of that kind of trim, and I've added a couple of little bits of beads here. I don't know if you can see them really well. These beautiful flowers here I've tea stained, but they were from a vintage bridal bouquet. I'm a naughty girl for using it, but I can't help myself. I go to op shops and find all these beautiful things, so I think, yep, that'll go in my journal, and that's exactly what I did. And this picture, everyone may be familiar with that. It's just a royalty free that you can download off the internet. I've put the picture on some clear paper and just glued it on pretty much, and you can see I've added a little bit more of the muslin or the gauze around the edge of the book. Cut up some lovely lace that I found at another op shop, and so yeah, that's the beginning of my book. The fastener here is a style that I like to use. I was using belts with really funky, gorgeous vintage old looking buckles to be the closure, and I do love those and I will continue to use that. But what I've done here is I've actually found in my stash of junk jewellery a little clasp here. I don't know if you can see this one here very well, but it was actually an oval, and I've bent it just so that I can use it as a closure here. And these you can actually buy at Spotlight or any other store that sells them. It's a little screw in, and just added the trim here just to pretty it up a little bit. So it's much easier than many journals that I've seen online, at least, to open, because all you need to do is just bend it down and there you go. It's open. So we'll just open it up. Okay, just pop this down so I'm not wobbling all over the place. All right, the first page is, as you can see, the muslin is on the inside of it as well. It took a little bit of doing, but I really love this look. And I've actually printed up a sonnet from Shakespeare, "How do I love thee, let me count the ways," and just added a little trim there of I love angel wings. Bit of a freak like that, so I try to put them in all my work. And this little bit of jewellery here, these little diamantes, I've cut up from some old trashy jewellery that I found at the salvos. So I get most of my stuff from the sallies. And this page here, it's just a printed page. I like to put some interesting things in case you want to put a heading here. You can just put headings and do your journaling. Try to decorate it a little bit with a little daisy there. Again, some old vintage jewellery cut up. This one here was an interesting one. I think you'll all be familiar with the photos that you can pick off the internet that are free, and I just use them to make up. Oh, it's a bit stuck in there. Okay, so it's just a little opening tag there that you can journal on. A lot of the pages are printed with this design. I just love it. Again, another freebie off the internet. All the paper is tea stained paper, and once I've tea stained it, I then iron it so that it's reasonably straight to write on. You can see I haven't written in this one yet, and probably won't for a little while until I finish it. But look at that lovely pattern that you can get from tea staining. Isn't that gorgeous? Just again, a couple of little pockets. I love the vintage women that I've found all over the internet, and I changed the photos somewhat to make them the colour that I need them to be. I do that in a program. I think it's Paint Shop Pro, and I make all my little journal tags that go in. This is one from the Bible, from 1 Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind. Most of you might have heard about that. And just again, another little coffee stained piece of lace and a diamante to go on that. I've learned how to put these bits of seam binding on so it's not bulky, and you don't always have to put a hole in it, so it just keeps it nice and flat, and particularly if you want to be putting a lot of them in your journal or in your Bible or wherever you put them. So what I do is I actually just glue it straight on and then glue it both sides. So it's really, I just like the look of that a lot better than having the hole in everything. And this one here was a journal pocket that I made, another beautiful little vintage flower that I grabbed at one of the op shops with the lovely lady there under the lace. Everything I find is usually a vintage type of lace or flower, and I'm always on the hunt for those. So I've sewn this pocket out of an old book that I found. I was going to use it in a different manner, but it was so fragile, it started to kind of fall apart. So I thought, okay, this is going to be a sew job. So I sewed it together, and voila, there's your pocket. There's another little pocket under here at the side, just for another coffee stain journal tag to go in there. Let's move through this a little bit quicker. Envelopes, great way to add pockets so you get both sides. I usually cut the end of my envelopes and put some washi tape on there. This is a beautiful William Morris design paper that my daughter gave me for a gift at some point. She's always giving me nice things like that she knows that I like. Right, just move through. You can see I'll count the signatures. I think there's 8 in this one, so it's a chunker. And there's the other side of that envelope there, so you can just pop little bits and pieces in there. I think, memory pieces are always nice to stick in envelopes like that. Throughout the book, I've actually put some cards, so it's not all just paper. It's quite a good quality, heavy-duty card, and it just sort of, when I put my pockets on, it just gives it a little bit more of a substantial sit. So I think if you're putting too many pockets on the paper alone, they tend to be a little bit more flimsy and roll up. Another little journal tag I've made, sewing some material that I bought at the Sally's, a little bit of gauze on there, and I've tea stained the material as well because it was a lighter colour when I bought it. And again, just another little piece of cut up lace that I've used. Granny wouldn't be happy about that, but anyway, we just repurpose things because they can be used. So more coffee pages. Another one of my lovely little journal tags that opens up just so that you can write in there a secret little note if you need to. Again, more printed work from pictures that I've had for years. I just thought, well, I'm going to use these in my journal. This one's an interesting one. This is just a fill-in piece of card that I've put in there. Just, you can see that my spine comes through the back there. This is gorgeous satin ribbon that's a true vintage ribbon, and I thought when I sewed my signatures, I've actually sewn them to the ribbon. I've got 2 pieces of ribbon here. I'll just show you, that hang out the bottom, so it's a little bit shabby, and I like that because it's different. It doesn't have to be perfect when it's vintagey. And so I've just put a little pockets in there just because they fit, which is great, and it just takes up a little bit of that space area. Again, too, if you're putting a lot of ephemera in your books, you want to leave a little bit of space between the signatures just for somewhere to tuck things. you can see this gorgeous paper. I think this is a coffee stain one, and I've put it out on a beautiful old wrought iron table that I used to have. My husband seconded that now, so he uses it for another purpose. But when I've put the paper out in the sun to dry, it's actually picked up the pattern of the table. So you might like to think about experimenting with that sort of thing. If you put your paper out on, wrought iron or just patterns out in nature even, or on a group of bricks or something, you're going to get a gorgeous pattern over your paper. Just another little card that goes in there that's coffee stained. I use a lot of hymn pages. I'm a Christian, so God help me for tearing up old hymn books, but people don't tend to use them anymore, but I certainly do. I think it's wonderful that we can repurpose those sort of things. And I've placed, that's a pocket in there, and I've placed some tissue from an old dress pattern. I buy those up because you can actually buy them very cheaply at op shops. Sometimes you can get them for 20 cents or something like that. So often a good idea. I'll just pop that back in. Again, another printed page here. Oh, and I love this, time to write. Look, I wanted to use the clock in my journal, but I thought, what am I going to say? How will I randomly just shove a clock in there? So I thought, okay, time to write. Beautiful, works for me. Just flick through another. And see how I tie my signatures right up the middle. I usually start in the middle and work my way down. I put a lot of holes in mine because I want them to stay together. I would die if my journal fell apart. So it seems to make it a little bit more sturdy. Most of these are just pages. I love this. I found this on a internet site, but it wasn't a for sale design or anything like that. It was just a random picture of wings. So I pulled it off the internet and put it through my program and took the background out, and here we go, on angel wings, just in case we travel. All right, just another printed page. Again, another printed page. As you can see, the spine here, there's quite a lot of room to stick stuff in, which is what I've done in this little number here. This is one of my little hand-painted journal tabs that I make. I've got a bit of a givey on my website for people who get others to join the group on Facebook. And someone's already won a set of 6, and I'm still waiting on someone to win the other. I need to probably go back and check. Just popped a random little bit of lace in there. Again, a pattern from a dress pattern, a little bit of paper. Just makes for a bit of interest. These are all pockets here, so a little bit crazy, I know. But again, just open it up there and you've got my angel wings. You've got pockets everywhere. So this is really good fun. And what I've done is I've put some washi tape there just to help it to be a little bit more stable. This thing here, oh my goodness, I actually found hundreds and hundreds of these, and they're old CD sleeves, and I've just pulled off the front of them, coffee stained them, stuck a bit of lace on, made a pocket. There you go, cheap as. And I've just sewn in, I don't know how many pages, but it's kind of like a mini journal inside the journal. Again, another coffee stain CD thing, made a pocket. I often make a double pocket, so you've got a little sleeve there and a sleeve there to put things in. Alrighty, enough of that one. I love this picture. I couldn't help but use it. And this little number here, that came off the most magnificent old junk jewellery. And it's a crystal, and I've used so many of them in my work. I just love to use them, but I thought she deserves something more stunning than just a baby one. And I put here, one is not born a woman, one becomes one. How about that? Agree? The other one here, my heart is filled with 1,000 songs. This is one of the beautiful songs that we often sing in church. And, it's such poetic beauty. I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a romantic, and there's some wonderful songs out there today, and I think, who writes stuff like that? So where do they get that from? It's magnificent. My heart is filled with 1,000 songs. It's like my tongue is the pen of a ready writer. That's a scripture, actually. Don't ask me where it is, but I'm pretty sure it's in Psalms somewhere. Okay, another pocket here. I've sort of just these little flowers. I just dye them with a bit of paint, actually, because I am a painter as well, and I like to put some paintings in my journals, particularly with the ephemera that I make. I'm talking 1,000 miles an hour, I know, but I really want to get through this. Another photo on the internet that's really quite familiar to everybody, I'm sure, and I don't know if people are sick and tired of seeing the same photos or not, but I'm not. I just love these gorgeous Victorian women and vintage women. These aren't necessarily Victorian, but yeah, and you can see here how I've put my, just try and get it in focus here, just a bit of seam binding on the top, and I've added a little diamante there. But you can see that I sort of put it on that way. Alrighty, back in you go. Another pocket, bit of washi tape, nice little bit of gold bling there. Lovely tape that my daughter gave me again. She's a doll. Another envelope, same beautiful William Morris design. Ah, this one, love it. This is just, so I was playing around with some ideas, so I came up with these, and it's a little bit convoluted, as you can see. I've got to undo it, but I just love it. I've cut around, or not cut necessarily, but ripped around this lovely girl's picture and put some diamantes on there for her. And I've used gauze to actually put this together. So this is just the tea-stained muslin that I often use. Done a little bit of stamping here, and this is out of a diary from an Edwardian lady. I picked up a couple of these for dirt cheap. Love it. And so I've just sewn that on, made a little bookie that closes in like that, and you've got this gorgeous little picture on the front. Got pockets everywhere. There's a pocket under there if you want to stash something. I'm not going to put this back together because it'll take me a minute or two, but just pop that through there, and there you go. Stick that under there, a bit of lace holding her in. Another one. This is, I used my cutting machine for this one. If I take it off, I'll probably rip it, but anyway. So my cutting machine, the Cameo cutting machine, my daughter and husband gave me one for my 60th birthday, and I just love it. I have not stopped using it. You can do so many things with it. So what I've done is I've cut out a little pocket, and rather than open it all up, you can see that it does actually open up. So you can actually use it as pockets, or you can open it up and actually write in it. And I just popped a little bit of sari silk on the bottom with a bit of lace, and this is from a hymnal, Rejoice You Pure in Heart. This one here, pocket here, just a typical card that I've actually this is a coffee stain one, I think, and I've coffee stained this lace here. $5 a roll. I got it for $5. Can you believe that? And it's just so adorable. I love it. It makes a great pocket. Oh, just moon face. Couldn't not have a moon face in my book. There we go. This is another little pocket that I've made. These little grip on here. I've just typed a few words together, and I made this little doodad out of a bit of lace. Doesn't that look awesome? And I've put some little jewels on the bottom of it just to doody-dar it up a little bit more. So fanciful, challenging, unusual, crazy. Well, yes, well, yeah. That's my husband's favourite word for me. I'll just pop that in there. Put you back in there. And that's good. Okay, we'll leave it out for a minute. All right, so more pockets, all sewn. This is vintage paper. Again, when you go to the op shop, look for it. Look for it in just the kind of throwaway sections. They put all this beautiful old paper in there, and it came out of a lovely old book, and so I didn't have to stain it or do anything. I just sewed her up, made some pockets. There you go. I've got my pattern in there again. Another one there, a couple of journal cards, and on the back I've sewn her more paper. So yeah, look for that stuff. It's so cheap. I know sometimes it can be a little bit expensive for people to be finding things for journals, but op shops are a wonderful source of goodies. Another beautiful printed frame. You probably noticed that on the internet somewhere yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to put it in. It's just so over the top. I love it. Another rose. Okay, I've made another one. I've made a lot of these actually, and I'm thinking I might put some up for sale, or I might even give them away, give a couple away on my my Facebook site. So this one's a little bit different. It's got pockets everywhere. A little tiny baby tag there. I can't help myself. I'm not a super bling person, but I just think sometimes it needs a little bling. So that's what I've done there. And on the inside I've got more pockets with hem pages and pattern pages. I've done some stamping on there. And obviously everybody's favourite picture off the internet, that one. All these little bits of trim came off. Lovely designs that you can get that somebody meticulously crocheted. Oh my goodness, they would die if they saw what we did with all their beautiful work. Anyway, moving on. Another tag, very similar. I've made a whole pile of these one day, and this is what I like. I buy all this stuff and I use them in my journals. All these lovely old lace doilies. Yes, 1,000 things you can do with them. Yeah, just pretty much. I think I need to put some more ephemera in. There's my lovely over-the-top frame again. This is another gorgeous little, you can see there I've gessoed over the book pages. I don't know if it really helped to stabilise it, because I'm thinking one day this stuff's just going to fall apart. It was such an old little book, and it was Beau Geste. Never read the story myself, but yeah, another CD pocket here from a CD pocket holder. You can see the plastic there I've pulled off the back. So yeah, you can use random things that you find. And again, an angel wing just popping in there. And more little tags that you can write on, secret tags. Don't you love this? Does she look sexy? Probably, I don't know. Just flick through. Oh, here's another one of my lovely journal tags that I made just before Christmas, using again probably a lace tablecloth that I cut up, Bad Girl. And just, yeah, simple journal tag. Don't you love the staining on this? Isn't it beautiful? And on the back, and that goes in there. And this bow, perfectly made, came on a box of chocolates that I bought for Christmas. And I thought, yep, I'm going to use that in my journal. It's already made. Another place to put lots of things in there. Another little random pocket full of pockets, little journal cards, bits of paper. That one's a little bit over the top, stained, that one, coffee stain that. And open it up, it's got little bits inside it. Can do anything, it's your journal. All right, just keep on going here. Yeah, I think I need some more ephemera in here. Just get to the back. Yeah, it's pretty much, I need to fill this one up. Haven't finished filling it up. If you've got any ideas, love to hear them. Oh, did I look at that? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, see little vintage flowers on here again. Little angel wing again. Okay. Look at the back, look at the back. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. I couldn't cut that one up. I had to use it as it was. It's just stunning. Just a gorgeous little doily there, and you can see probably more on the back of my the gauze holding my book together. You can see that I've stained that. Actually, I haven't stained that, I've actually painted that. It took me a bit of time just to get the right colour for me that I liked, and so I've put a bit of burnt umber, a bit of raw umber, a bit of yellow, Turner's yellow. I've put all kinds of colours in to get that colour. And that's the end of my little bookie. So there's the back of it there. Pretty plain, but I think it's going to have enough beauty inside it to make it awesome. And we'll just close it up, and that'll be the finish of that. So yeah, check back in and see what I do. I'm not really good at this sort of thing. I'm a good talker, and that's about it. So if you're interested, go and have a look at my Facebook as well and just see what you think, and maybe you want to join and put up some of your gorgeous creations too. Thank you for watching. Bye.